The book, The Great Quake, How the Biggest Earthquake in North America Changed Our Understanding of the Planet by Henry Fountain, is centered around the 1964 March 27th Alaskan earthquake. This book talks about the devastation caused by the earthquake, the lives affected by it, and the changes and discoveries it helped geologists to understand. This 9.0 earthquake only lasted about 5 minutes, but the damage it caused was terrifying. Houses were destroyed, streets were in shambles, and the people were ultimately scarred. Geologists came up with all different types of theories, but everyone had a different opinion on what causes these massive earthquakes. Geologists, including George Plefker and Alfred Wegener, proposed ideas that could help people everywhere understand the cause behind these earthquakes. This book relates to our curriculum because we learned about tectonic plates, subduction, earthquakes, and how the earth formed or how the continents got how they are. In the book, it talks about all of these things, but most importantly, earthquakes. An earthquake is what this book was written on, and earthquakes were a very big part of our curriculum. This book taught me many things about the structure of our planet, how and why earthquakes happen, and other valuable lessons. One of the main things it talked about was, obviously, earthquakes. In the beginning of the book, it tells how there was some debate over what affects earthquakes and, most importantly, why they happen. There were different ideas, but none seemed correct. Near the end of the book, it explains how earthquakes happen because of the subduction of one tectonic plate under another. Tectonic plates are solid slabs of rock in the lithosphere and are the main cause of earthquakes. Earthquakes vary in strength and size depending on how close or far they are from a plate boundary. Another thing this book taught me was how the Earth got the way it is today. Again, there was some debate over this, but it was concluded that the continents were all connected in one landmass called Pangaea. This idea was proposed by Alfred Wegener. There was a lot of evidence supporting his idea. I will now read a passage from the book from when Wegener first proposed his idea. The first spark of the idea had occurred to Wegener in early 1911 when a colleague at Melbourne had shown him a new atlas he had received for Christmas. Looking at a map of the world spread across two facing pages, Wegener noticed something about the continents of Africa and South America. Their coastlines, with all their twists and turns, were parallel to each other, although they were separated by thousands of miles of ocean. If one could put the west coast of Africa and the east coast of South America together, they'd fit practically like two pieces of a puzzle. To Wegener, what he saw could only have one meaning. The continents were somehow able to move. He could see through evidence from other parts of the world the way Europe and North America appeared to fit together, for example, particularly if Greenland was included as a kind of wedge. To think that similar movements had occurred everywhere. He realized, too, that this might explain how mountains arose. Perhaps, as the continents had moved, their edges had become distorted and pushed up. It is believed that Pangaea broke up due to tectonic plates and the circulation of Earth's mantle, along with the continental drift. Another thing that this book taught me was that, on average, there's about 1 mega quake per year, while there are thousands of quakes strong enough to be felt and millions that are not strong enough to be felt. I would recommend this book to anyone who is interested in earthquakes, why and how they happen, or anyone who wants to learn more about these kinds of things. Although this is a nonfiction science book, it is told like a story and is not just filled with facts. It teaches and helps the reader understand more about this topic, but is a good and interesting story. Overall, this book helped me understand earthquakes more and was a quick and easy read while also teaching me a lot.